Hello, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's see what the spirit guides, angels, and ancestors have to say for January 1st, 2024. What is the most important messages that the collective needs to hear right now? Oh my God, look at what we got, you guys. Dragon. We are going into the year of the dragon too. It's the wood dragon, if I do believe. Number 39. So you could either be 39, turning 39 this year, but it talks about bravery. It says, against the rocky cliffs of the mountainside, dragon rests peacefully with the crashing shore blissfully ringing in its ears. Its iridescent scales catch glimmers of sunlight and sprinkle the cave in the array of rainbows. Dragon is often misunderstood, but it pays no mind to the thoughts of others. It has done too much work to let the fears of others be a distraction. And then it says, your work, dear one, is not done yet. There is much for you to learn and overcome because no matter how old we get, there is always a lesson to be learned or shared. What Dragon is here to remind you, however, is that you are strong. You are enough to learn, or you are strong enough to learn the lessons you need to in this life and are not defined by what others say or the fear that they may try to instill in you. You are a child of divine love, and Dragon will accompany you on your journey to keep you safe. And it may even throw a rainbow or two your way to remind you of how magical you are. So, how auspicious that on the first day of January, even though it's not the Chinese New Year, but we have the dragon show up for the new year. So, I feel like one of the things that I want to say to you is maybe go and do some research right here on YouTube. Look up whatever the wood dragon has in store for your sign. And what are you? What element? Because it's one thing that you're a snake or you're a rabbit, but what's the element of that snake or rabbit? Are you metal? Are you, are you water? Are you wood? What are you? Okay. I myself, I am a wood ram, sheep. Okay. But I am earth sheep. Okay. So what else do we want to? Okay, we're going to go with these ones. So let's grab another card, Spirit. Let's see what our spirit guides, angels, and ancestors have to say about this. Okay, what do we got here? So thinker, all right, you guys are first of the year. We're thinking about all the things that we want to accomplish. We're looking back at all the things that maybe didn't, make it this far in 2024. Maybe the people that didn't make it through, whether they passed away or we just had to part ways. What do we want to do with our career in the new year? Do we want to start our own business? Do we want to do something else? Do we want to go back to school? I feel like regardless of whatever the choices that you are making right now, I do feel like you're thinking long and hard about your future. That is for sure. And we've got breathe. We do have, oh, that's funny, 44. I was going to say 2024 is an 8, and then 44 also adds to an 8. So I am going to say that with it being an 8, this is about karma. It's about what goes around comes around also. And then we've got happy, happy, but we've got it in the reverse. I wonder what's going on here. We're going to read that out loud, okay? Bottom of the deck, with Pluto going into Aquarius on January 20th, we are opening ourselves up to a new sense of community, even starting our own communities, getting out into the community even more. I feel like, and again, it kind of goes back to the things that maybe haven't been making you happy, things that haven't felt so lucky, like the dragon over here. I want to look at happy, happy in the reverse. That's the number 26. So 26 could be important to you. You could have been born on the 26th. Okay. So 26, here we go. I almost read the wrong card. So it says lighten up because this is the time to be ridiculous and silly. See the world through the eyes of a clown and don't take yourself or any situation right now too seriously. Have fun, be playful, and make laughter the order of the day. You'll be surprised by how everything just seems to fall into place when humor leads the way. Being happy and lighthearted is a wonderful icebreaker. Life is meant for play as well as work, for laughter as well as tears, for celebration as well as focus. Spirit wants to sparkle through you today. Smile and enjoy each breath and each moment. Miracles lie in the silly things today. So, you know what? Don't take life to like, oh, with the last few years that we have had, life has been so ridiculous. We have been so serious, and everybody around us is like, you can't even get away with a joke anymore because everything is racist and everything is, calling somebody a fucking name or, trying to implement some weird ideologies and beliefs. I feel like right now we need to let our hair down. We need to not be so serious. I think we need to start thinking about what can we do to actually go out and have more fun? What can we do to go out and maybe even volunteer more in our community? How can we give back to our community? Okay. I feel like this is a year where we can actually work smarter, not harder. An 8 year is where it's basically you kind of get like the fruits of your labor from years 1 through 7, right? 8 years, not that you're not going to have like work to do. You absolutely have work to do. But you are getting the accolades from all the hard work that you've put in throughout the past few years. And then the 9 year, which will be next year, will be where we do the wrapping up of the cycle to get us prepared for the 1 year where we start the cycle over again. Numerology goes obviously 1 through 9. Okay. So I do feel like this is a time for you to just kind of sit back. It's really not time for you to like get up and start running around just because it's the first of the year. I think that this is where, people kind of like, oh, new year, new me, and they go taking off like a bat out of hell. And then it's not sustainable momentum. There has to be sustainability. If there's not, you're just going to have a bunch of chaos. So again, we need to kind of sit back. We might be feeling a little sluggish. I mean, come on. Today is the day that Mercury went direct. So for you Virgos and Geminis out there, and it is in Sagittarius and it was also in Capricorn. So, those energies could definitely be very affected. Okay. But also Jupiter just went direct as well. So Sagittarius is again, there you go, and Pisces. So, give it a minute, let them get their cosmic coffee. And that way we can continue. Like, what is it that you've been thinking about doing? What is it that you've been wanting to build? What is it that you have been that you've been kind of sitting on for a while that maybe you haven't gotten up and really moved on because of maybe your fear that it might not bring happiness to the people around you? But what if it does? What if it does bring that happiness for the people around you? I see the new moon is also something that is of importance, and we do have that new moon on January 11th in Capricorn. We do have the sixth chakra here. So the sixth chakra talks about our intuition. It is the third eye chakra. See, his third eye is definitely lit up, and we have the number 40 here. So 4 is about stability. It's about structure. It's about family. And there's been a lot of thinking about a lot about broken heart, brought a lot about like the pain of, what fell through in the past. Maybe you weren't listening to your intuition. You were overthinking, overanalyzing in the past. And maybe that's one of your New Year's resolutions is to maybe go out and seek guidance from people in your community, or, seek guidance from even somebody who is intuitive, talking to, I mean, grandma and grandpa are pretty damn intuitive if you guys are still lucky enough to have a grandfather and a grandmother around. But I think also, this heartbreak also has to do with, again, the loved ones that crossed over. And I feel like they are still here helping you on the other side. What do we got here for the collective, Spirit? What is the most important messages that we have for the collective? Angel of strength. And that's, funny that we have that because again, we talk about the 2024 being an 8 year, and it's a karmic year, and is the strength card in the original Rider-Waite Tarot, and we have the strength card here, the Angel of Strength. Yes, it's the number 50. This is not the original Rider-Waite in the original deck, for those of you who don't know the difference. Now we have this progression. We go 40, 50. Maybe for some of you, this is the last day of your 40s in 2024. You go into your 50s now. And so you're really thinking about like the next chapter and the next phase of your life, or maybe you're planning for your 50s. You're planning for retirement, all of those things. And those are all things that you're thinking about, but it's like, you're ready for some of you to let your hair down. Wow. This landed on its side, storm warning. So anytime, of course, cornucopia. I love this. And I'm going to read this card because I see a couple of 11s here on on this spread. So we have the number 11. Oh my God. And the overall energy I just saw with the community card is 8. Oh my God. Thank you, Spirit. They just pointed that out to me. That is so hilarious. And then we have 11 here as well. 29 adds to an 11, and then we have 11. So 11 could also be of importance to you. Okay, so with that said, with the storm warning, it's like, doing the best you can at avoiding conflict, avoiding things that don't make you happy, even only focusing on the things that bring you abundance and security and nurturing things that are going to, nurture your soul, and I think it's like quality over quantity. You're over the people, places, and things that bring you anxiety in the next year. You're ending those karmic contracts yourself. You're only going towards people, places, and things that show appreciation and that cherish and love you just as much as you love them with these caring connections. Like that is your door to spirit. And I feel like for a lot of you, because it's like whenever you're out there trying to create your own happiness, you're always going to have things outside yourself that try to come in that want to knock you off your pedestal. See how she's sitting on her pedestal up here? And there's always people, places, and things that want to come in and knock you off. Now, I do want to say for some of you, be careful. There could also be a tornado warning. You might be able to, it kind of maybe for some of you goes around you. You could hear about it. And as soon as I said that, I just got a gust of wind right here on my shoulder. So yes, I think that there's going to be, they might even say it's a bigger storm than what you thought it was going to be, but it ends up not being that big because it did show up on its side. Now, that's not me telling you to not take special precaution. Take the precaution that you deem necessary and what your intuition tells you to do if there is some type of a storm. Just disclaimer there. Okay. So I want to read the cornucopia card because, again, that is one of my favorite cards in this deck. And of course, you know why. Because it's got all the garden. I think even for some of you, this is even starting up a community garden. Maybe some of you have been thinking about starting up this community garden, or maybe you're even thinking about eating healthier. So you're going to actually go to, farmland, and you're going to actually go out into the community and, get your fruits and vegetables and going straight to the source. Again, it goes back to, you saving money, taking better care of yourself, maybe even taking better care of your animals, and not so much, and trying to avoid disasters, trying to avoid the poisonous grocery store anymore. Cornucopia, as the overall energy, talks about wishes fulfilled. An abundant harvest and great blessings are waiting for you, and you may even find all of your wishes fulfilled. This cornucopia of gifts from the universe can come in the form of financial riches, job fulfillment, romantic love, or all of the above. And I think for a lot of you in 2024, you are really going to see all of the above. When you receive the cornucopia upright, you know that you've done important work and it's about to pay off. The number 8, karma, what goes around comes around. The seeds that you have planted in your energy and in your life are ready to be harvested in some significant ways. Get ready for a great feast of abundant value is being prepared for you now, and Spirit is applauding all of your efforts. Hell yeah, they are. They're like, listen, be strong. You knew this was coming, okay? All the things that you had been thinking about are what is going to actually bring you the fruits of your labor and everything it is that you have been waiting so, so long for. It's like for some of you, you have felt like maybe you have been forgotten. That is so untrue. You were never forgotten. Down at the bottom, we have 40, 50, and 10. So I almost get like this is like cycles 40, 50, and 10. It's not 44, which, yes, we have 44, 29, 26, 8, and 11. But at the bottom row, we have 40, 50, and 10. So it's almost like, you finally have ended out maybe these cycles. For some of you, maybe you're even in your 50s and it took you into your 50s for you to finally close out this long-standing cycle. And now it's almost like you've been reborn again. Now you just know how to avoid disasters that come through that you're just like, I don't really have control. You do have the dragon here. And I think that for a lot of you, this is almost like, being able to hover over the top of like anything that comes at you, with the dragon and the storm, it's almost like you are able, it's like when you're in an airplane, you can actually go above the storm. You can ride that out and see how it's clear skies up here over the top of the storm. Okay. So that might mean something for you. Huh. Let's pull one last message. Let's get a message from. All right. Any other messages for the collective spirit? So, cornucopia, I mean, literally everything that I feel like for some of you, it's time for you to raise your prices. For some of you, it's, you're due a raise. Jupiter is now direct, so you are due a raise. This would be the perfect time for you to finally go and ask that boss for a raise. And especially because now they're doing minimum wage at 14. So for those of you who are getting $14 an hour, or wherever you live, everybody's minimum wage is different now. I know it's 14 in Hawaii. I don't even know how much it is in California. Everywhere is going to be different, but what's going to happen is they're going to raise that, and then everybody else who is already getting paid that doesn't get a raise. So basically, you're just working for minimum wage now. So I think that you guys are due your raises too. Just keep that in mind. And if your boss isn't willing to give it and they don't value you, it's time for you to start thinking about what it is that you wanted to do in the first place. Stop building other people's fucking empires and start thinking about building your own. And stick with it. You're not going to be a fucking millionaire overnight. Connect to source, number 47, another 11. 4 plus 7 is 11. 11, 11, 11. We have that in this reading. Today is January 1st, okay? Go within to discover what needs to be done. Create the shift required to attract what you want. I think that's what you've been doing. I feel like what you want is to live a very blessed life where you're working smarter, not harder, and avoiding stresses and avoiding, for some of you, even like retiring at 50 so that you can actually go out and live your life. They've made it on purpose to where you can't freaking retire until your 60s, 70s. By that time, you're already sick because you've ran your body into the ground. And that's how it is. And then they give you, all these medicines to help take care of you. Right? And then you have a heart attack and die. So all those years that you put in, and really, for how many really good years are you giving to yourself after all of that? So I think that, it's about working smarter, not harder. And I will say that the millennials, I'm a Generation X, but the millennials are the ones who paved the way for that to happen. They don't want to be working 9 to 5 jobs. You're working, and we always say, oh, they're lazy. Actually, I would say put your foot in your mouth on that one. It's not about laziness. It's about looking at it and going, I spend my entire life working and working and working all day long. And what they're trying to tell you, even if they don't know how to say it, is I'm tired of working so much and having nothing to show for it. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into a business and my work and my career, but I don't have anything left over. And I think that that goes the same for you and I. It's not like when our parents were younger, when it was like one person could actually work and another parent could stay home and take care of the kids and the household. No, they've made it impossible. And then what happens is by the time that your husband gets to finally, or your wife gets to retire, they have all these health issues. You can't travel, you can't go anywhere, and they, end up passing away. And then that's it. So basically, they just worked. And for what? And for what did they have to show for it? Nothing, not even time. So, I think that that's what we're trying to avoid. And it's like, again, goes back to working smarter, not harder. So look at the bigger perspective and all that. So that's why a lot of these jobs we found with, CV, you know what I'm talking about, that you can actually do your work from home. All those jobs that they said, oh, no, you have to come into the office for, they've proven that actually now you can do your job from home. So you can do your job abroad. You can do your job wherever. So for any of you guys wanting to travel, for any of you guys wanting to find new communities, for any of you guys wanting to, and I think even for some of you, you're looking into, even living communities where you guys are, living on a commune. I'm definitely getting community living. I do feel like 2024 will be a big one for more and more people going out and living in communities where you're working on people's farms. It's like that. What is it called? Where it's a work program. But like I said, community living where you're out there, you're gardening, you're, bartering, all of those things. I'm gonna leave that here, you guys. I feel like this is definitely going to be a year of needing to connect with your higher self, connecting with source energy, connecting with your guides, angels, spirit, spirit masters, all of them, and archangels, God's source energy. And I'm telling you right now, I think you guys are going to end up being guided towards your happy, but it's going to be something's going to try and step into that, but I don't know that they're going to be able to. And you might even find that something comes in and you decide this doesn't make me happy anymore, and you end up just kind of allowing it to fall away by the wayside. But you do it gracefully. So anyway, you guys, I want to leave that here. That was a long message. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year. I love you guys all so very much. I got to figure out this. It's the new computer, but I don't like how it jiggles. I didn't even think about that. But for some reason, when I touch the table, now it jiggles. I did like my Apple. It did not do that. This one is a little more flimsy. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Anyway, you guys, bear with me as I maneuver this new computer system that I have. And Happy New Year. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram under the Footsteps to Peace. If you're interested in a personal reading, all my information is down there. Love you guys all so much, and we will chat again soon. Take care.